Okay, so just about to wrap it up for the night and go in. It's almost supper time, but I'll show you kind of what I've been up to in this next devlog. So what I've done here is I have set up my terrain as you saw earlier. I've got a little bit of sea fog rolling across the plain. I've got my beach. I can walk out into the ocean here. I'm going to make an event so that makes a splashing sound. And I need to make an event when I contact this that I make a mud sound. Still haven't done this. The sounds for anything yet. Those will come later. You can see my animated grass texture. I showed that earlier today, but if you didn't see it, my animated grass is working. What I got going on here, I've added some trees down. As you can see as I walk along here, and if I look up, you can see I got this whole area with this, looks like it goes way off and a bunch more trees in the background and everything. Brings it right to life. That is, you can see the edge of it up here. It doesn't perfectly match the sky, but with the fog effect happening, zoom right out so you can see it. This is a billboard. So what I've done is I'll rotate an engine here and show you. I come from this side, there's nothing. And from this side, I've got this meadow pattern that I flipped in Krita and interlocked right about here. You can see the two. So one slides behind the other. They're so close that it's indistinguishable. Then in Blender, what I did was I then created a new plane, which is simply by object, and then I just went to new, where was I? Add, come here. And it was down here, image as plane. Then I browsed to the image that I wanted, it set it up. I made sure that the scale and size was everything I wanted, made sure that the shaders nodes were set up properly, exported it as an FBX, then simply came over here and imported them as planes. And then they're large planes so that you can see how they're set up on the grid there. And then I laid them out. So now when we go into the engine, instead of having nothing, we've got a nice edge wall there to look at. So all the action's going to happen in this middle here, of course, right? But that will give you a nice nice backdrop against the town that's going to be built here for the level. And then you can see here too that I've custom made this blue on this beach. I set up this beach. I couldn't get my normal map to map. I don't know if anybody knows what I did wrong out there. Let me know, but I got an error when I tried to import it into Backend. I set it up properly in Blender, but when I brought it into Backend with my normal map attached, it told me something about clicking a box for, let's see, shader doesn't correspond with the model data because it doesn't have vertex format tangent. And so I have been able to find that the tangent space or the format tangent is definitely to do with the normal mapping. When I removed the normal mapping and just went with a color map, that was fine. But I really wanted to bring that normal map texture in to make that beach look better. So anyway, if anybody knows what it means, when using this shader, please check the tangent space checkbox and export the FBX file. Except, of course, I couldn't find a tangent space checkbox anywhere or a setting to enable for it. And I already do have, when I export, everything gets baked already, so I don't know why it wasn't working or why RGP developer backend has an issue with it. I will find out, but I figured I better move on and just do a little bit of in-engine playing around, and I wanted to get this billboard in and working. I'd like to get that edge to the sky a little bit better. The cloud box comes by. What I might end up doing is I might end up trying to delete in the in Krita a bunch of that sky out of there, and then that might let those clouds in the background just roll through more. I'll play around with that. But anyway, it's a proof of concept that you can get billboards working on the side. I had sent an email to the developer and they didn't know. I also sent an email to a couple of guys that have been working in this and asked if maybe they knew how to do it. I thought you could do it in engine, but I found a workaround. So that's where I'm going to leave this for the night. You can see what I've got done, and you can see how those trees in front of that plane just works out really, really well. Like, it's really hard to distinguish the difference. I got the color matching on this field of buttercups or grass or whatever, matching really well with the color in my my texture, so it just really works well. Have a good night, everybody.